Hello and happy Thursday, coming at you live here at Insight Production Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Robert Morales from RCO Network. RCO Network, good people, better business, discovering the best of you. For the next hour, we're going to be talking to Vor, special guest of mine, about life, about their business, and all about this real estate stuff. We'll be taking questions live, so if you have anything you want to ask or leave any comments, go ahead and leave them down on the little comment section below. During the broadcast, we will do appreciate it. So if you're watching us, give us a little heart emoji because we love the loves. And if you're watching us on the replay, give us a little wow emoji because, wow, I can't believe you're not watching us live. You will like us here on Facebook if you go ahead and hit that little like button. You will also find us on Instagram and LinkedIn at Our CEO Network. Head over to ourconetwork.com for more information about marketing your business and sponsorships, especially during broadcasts like these. We like sponsors for our Zoom calls. So, hello. I am here this week talking to Violet a little bit about real estate, and the reason why we have this show this week, Man versus Women, is because Violet's been helping me out more in real estate, getting on social media, and kind of posting my name out there on some local groups. And she put my name down, and some woman basically said, "Hey, I don't like male realtors. They're not detail oriented enough." And I said, "Huh." She just doesn't know me, but it irked me. So I called Nancy. I said, "Hey, who do you know?" So she gave me Sam's number. She gave me Sula. You'll meet them in a second. And we decided to have like this little broadcast and man versus woman thing. So with that said, let's get rid of this thing. So I'm going to do some intros and we'll get started. So if you can say a little hi when I say your name. She started a career here in 2008 market during the downturn and became a real estate investor. She personally involves herself in remodeling as an expert in all aspects of home restoration. Originally from Ecuador, is an ASU grad in computer information systems. She has been an active real estate agent since 2005. Please welcome Ms. Sula Meyer.
Hello, hola.
Hola. I screwed up. Okay. But our next guest on the panel, he is from the Phoenix native, specializing in premier homes and providing outstanding service for all home buyers. He's a charter member of the HomeSmart Elite Group. He's in the top 0.5, not just 1.5% of HomeSmart agents. He's been an active real estate agent since 2001 and broker. Please welcome Mr. Sam Miller.
Hello, everybody. Great to be here.
Yeah. Get the audience.
That's right. Keep it up. Keep it up. We love the cheers. Don't stop.
We're getting there. Got to calm that audience down. Our next guest, she is originally from Mexico City and has she's had previous title escrow experience as a marketing agent, lives in the Phoenix Central Corridor. She's responsive, capable, articulate, bilingual, and savvy. She has been an active real estate agent since 2012. Please welcome Miss Nancy Avila. There she goes. Say something, Nancy. You gotta say something. Did we lose Nancy? There she is.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good.
She's savvy.
So I wanted to welcome our panel, but we do have a moderator for this because I am part of the panel as well. So I'll introduce myself as myself. My emphasis is in divorce market with approximately 10 years of previous family court experience. Everybody knows me. This November will be 7 years in the business. I think I'm the youngster in the group. Robert Morales. Give my own applause. And definitely last but not least, she is the heart of my heart. Today's moderator, she's nationally recognized and licensed in American Sign Language interpreter. Her translation services are available for all spoken languages with telephone, video conference, and on-site events. Founded in 2009 as a full-service language solutions company and owner, CEO of Ally Interpreting. Please welcome Miss Annabella Gomez.
Thank you.
It's like everybody gets the same clap. So at this point, I'm going to be handing over the reins to Miss Annabella as she's going to take over this man versus women in real estate fights. Bring it on.
Oh my goodness, you guys! Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. We we had an interesting conversation actually take place in regards to obtaining a client for Robert, and that person said something that was really kind of interesting, and I just kind of was we were just kind of taken back and just wanted to have equal parts men and women, the war of men and women, and just kind of give some feedback, I guess, to our audience and garner your guys' opinion about this. But the statement was that basically, what is it, Robert? That men aren't typically
As detailed.
administratively capable. Yes, they're not detailed oriented.
Horrible.
Well, I'm not going to let you answer, Robert, because we all know you,
Oh boy.
and that doesn't characterize you. But I'm just kind of wondering, and I think I'm going to ask Nancy specifically. I'm going to ask her what her opinion is about why people have that generalization about male realtors.
That is very interesting that you say that. I really don't think it's a gender thing, being in the business for 8 years. I think it's really more of a real estate, individual, how they choose to do their careers. I have worked with excellent male realtors who are on top of their game. Both Sam and Robert are on top of it always. And I have worked with amazing women agents. I think it just depends on how serious people take their jobs. One of the things that I think that has more to do with it is whether the person is a full-time agent or a part-time agent. You can't do this work and be great at it if you're only doing it part-time.
Yeah, I definitely would probably agree with that. I'm pulled apart in different areas in my life, and I can only contribute 25%. It's definitely not giving my 100, and that just, yeah, that's definitely a challenge. Sula, what do you think? Why do you think that people would label men as just not detail oriented?
I agree with Nancy that it is a personality thing. Really, there's great people, there's great agents, female or male, and I agree with her. You need to do this full time. It's a career. You need to put everything you have, and men and women do. So maybe they are not as like, they don't have an eye for beauty as women have. Like, I think. So
I know.
I like my colors, by the way.
Yes.
Look at this.
Look,
very
I
nice.
know.
Yeah, you're pretty good. No, I think
Exactly.
it doesn't have anything to do with the transaction. It has to do more like with little things that people notice in homes. That I'm always very aware of the colors of the, like if an air conditioning is old or new, or the roof. And I don't know, maybe I am too detail oriented, but I think women are a little bit more detail oriented than men, but they are all good.
Awesome. Thank you. So Sam, I know that you run your own brokerage, and I'm just thinking that you're probably thinking, are you kidding me? I do detail oriented all day long.
Well, I'm part of the Home Smart Elite group, so it's not my own brokerage. The secret to success, as everyone has really said, it's not you got to be in it to win it, right? You've got to be a full-time agent. It's just like anything else. You commit to it, you learn it, you really develop quite your own set of details. It's really not so much the house so much as the people that we work with. And it does sound cliched, but what we're selling are dreams and aspirations of the individuals whose homes that we're helping them obtain or to sell. Because I always tell people, it's not like a Kmart. You're really going to have your family interactions in here, and those kinds of events, those kinds of life cycle things. You just can't put a price on that. So it's really important that you pay attention to the individual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Robert, I'm going to ask you last. What do you think about that comment? I know that probably was just kind of like, what?
I guess I'm a little progressed at this point. I mean, I think Violet took a little bit more personally than I took it. You get kind of callous to a lot of these things. I mean, you run across a number of people all the time that always share interest, or always say things that kind of either shoot you down or kind of challenge you as far as your knowledge and stuff. And so you just kind of roll with the punches. And I think the more confident and the more knowledgeable you are in experience, some of that stuff just kind of flies by. It really doesn't impact you as much.
Yeah. Well,
it irked me, but it didn't bother me.
So I myself, I'm not a realtor, but I myself have about 20 friends that are realtors. So one of my questions today is going to be, and I'm probably going to leave this to the very end of the show, is when you have 20 really close realtor friends, how do you pick which one to work for you? You know, my fiance and I've thought about putting every name in a bucket and just doing a drawing because, you know, we love you guys all. And I think that a lot of us deal with that kind of struggle. So we're going to hold that to the very end if we have time. But I think right now the subject in terms of realty and the real estate market is that things in the very beginning of the pandemic, we had a house to sell. We actually had a house to completely renovate and then sell. And we got all kinds of different feedback as to whether or not it was the right time. Should we hold this house? Should we sell it? Because it's the beginning of a pandemic, the market's gonna crash and oh my gosh, all this stuff. Well, the market hasn't crashed yet. We don't know what the next, 6 to 12 months is gonna look like. I used to be a financial advisor. And so I was just kind of like, well, that's kind of my question for you guys as a personal question. I'm kind of curious about what you guys think about what's going to happen over the next 12 months. And what gives you that perspective? Why do you feel that way? What are the indicators? I'm going to start with Sula first.
Well, right now is the perfect time to buy. There is super low interest rate, historically low. And also is a good time to sell, however, because the inventory is extremely low. So the sellers have an advantage on that part because they don't have to do many repairs because people are fighting for a home. Right now when you go to find a home, there's a line of realtors in front of you, a line of realtors behind you, all for the same house. So you have to be ready to negotiate. You have to be ready to try to get that home for your clients. So it's a perfect time. Interest rates are so low that if you compare what you used to pay for a house of the same price, maybe 4 years or 5 years ago, now you can get a bigger house for the same amount of money a month. So it's a great time. It's a great time to buy, and it's a great time to sell as well.
Interesting. So right now what you're saying is that people are actually, the houses, let's say for sale for $200,000, are they bidding? Are there bidding wars for this particular house? Has that,
well, there's
that where the market is right now?
200,000 is a dream now. There's anything below 400,000. If it looks good, is priced right, is gone in hours.
Really?
And
wow.
sometimes when they are coming soon, they are already gone.
Wow.
Yes.
I've made offers on coming soons.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Kind of through the grapevine, and even through my own transaction, that we can't do this coming soon stuff anymore. You can't like pre-announce that a house is coming on the market before it actually hits the MLS. Is that true, Sam?
Actually, that is true. This is a new rule from the National Realtors Association. And in the past, there were, specifically in other parts of the country, realtors would sort of sign exclusive agency relationships where they would just let their friends know and everybody know that they had a house for sale.
Right.
The problem for that was that really wasn't fair to the seller, because it's possibly, my friend Robert would bring his client in and they'd sell the house and everything would seem to be happy, but the seller really didn't know if they got the best price for the property because it never hit the open market. The real big problem for that, though, is that it tended to be, the expression birds of a feathers flock together. I would mention to Robert that we've got this house in this building or this neighborhood for sale. He finds the buyer. Almost invariably, it'll be someone very similar to people that are living in the neighborhood, which of course means that in just by happenstance tends to be a discrimination against people of color or minorities. They never knew the house was for sale. So we outlawed that a few months ago, and now you can do coming soon. When you sign a listing agreement, though, you've got to put that house on the open market for everyone to see. You don't have to put it active, but it has to be, if you're going to be coming soon, it has to be on the MLS. It's a great way to even the playing field. And in a market like ours, which is so uber competitive, it's a fantastic tool for agents, because coming soon listings are not, they're not syndicated to Zillow and Realtor.com. So it's a great advantage for a buyer, specifically that's working with an agent.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the answer to your question. The only thing I can guarantee you over the next 18 months is that I'm going to be eating a lot of chocolate cake. Other than that, I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh my gosh. I tell
Is that Dutch
Robert,
chocolate?
I say that COVID-19 for me is the 19 pounds that I've gained since March.
Right.
You
The
what?
COVID-19, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm in that boat.
Gosh, wow. Thanks, guys. Okay, so Robert,
Oh, man.
I know. So what is the best application to look at real estate property? There's Zillow, there's Redfin, there's, there are so many of them. Which one would you say is the most honest? Because I know that there's like a Zillow estimate that says this is how much the house is valued at, but when you actually go to the house and you kind of do the market comps around it, sort of, you can kind of see that the house values around it are a little bit higher, and this is a little bit higher than that. So what is a good app for your people to look at to get a real number?
Well, the MLS app that I set them up on.
Oh,
No, I mean, a majority of people just end up going on websites. In particular Zillow. I think I get a lot of Redfin, and they do comparative, like, they challenge you. You'll go and do a listing, a presentation. You'll say, "This is how much the house is worth," and they'll jump on you. Oh, Zillow says this much. And you're like, well, the real numbers say this. And when I did work for Zillow, I mean, I didn't work for them, but I paid for their services. The algorithms that they use are tied into the area around there. So the weird thing about those algorithms is if you have a $200,000 house and the $1 million subdivision is right next to it, it automatically boosts the price of your house egregiously. It's just like, I don't even know how they calculate that, but that's what they do. And I think the main qualifier is price per square foot. So there's really no good one. You can kind of use like multiple ones. Like when I do a listing presentation, I look at Redfin and I pull Realtor and I pull Zillow, because Zillow and Trulia are the same ones, just to kind of see what I'm going to be facing when I actually go to a presentation. But is there a good one? No, but you just know kind of what people kind of expect when they pull those
So
numbers.
that's where you guys come in, is where we actually need you to show us the house and show us the meat of what we need to know.
I will say, oh, sorry, Sam. I will say real quick that the one that I like to share with my clients, just because it's always up to date with everything, is HomeSnap. Do you guys agree with that?
I don't. I think the very best place for a consumer to get the most honest information about the value of their home is from their realtor. Because your realtor, I know it sounds, your realtor is your neighbor. And the other app programs, those are algorithms. An algorithm is not your neighbor. Like Robert said, they're going to pull up whatever the algorithm says. If it's by the $1 million neighborhood, it's going to skew the value crazily. But your realtor, your local realtor, Sula, Robert, Nancy, myself, we know the neighborhood. We know the market. We're going to be able to cut through that, and we'll certainly can use those tools, but we don't depend on those tools. That's absolutely positively your best avenue of the most accurate and honest way to determine value of your property or one that you want to purchase.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. So
call us.
Call you guys. And so one other thing that I found in our transaction with our selling of the house that we didn't experience before is that we actually planned on making all of these upgrades to the house, and our realtor happened to be a close friend of my fiance's that he went to high school with, and she told us not to make upgrades on certain things because they weren't going to have the same return in the house price. And that we just basically needed to wait for the inspection and then at that point make those changes. And so I'm kind of curious to your guys' opinion, and I am going to start with I'm going to start with Nancy on this one, actually, because I'm just kind of curious. What is your method? Would you prefer that your clients come to you before they make any renovations when they plan to sell their house, or is it pretty common that everybody knows the kitchen has to be on par and then the bathrooms have to be on par? Everything else is just kind of like whatever the buyer wants. What is your opinion on that?
I honestly think that it just depends on what you're looking to do, how much money you're looking to net. And that really comes to an actual investment like yours. Like you said, you bought it to turn around and flip. So that being said, if everything around the market is not really updated, and you cannot go into a house that's in the $300, $1,000 range and put $80,000 and expect to get your money back. So I think it really depends on the house, how much money you're looking to net, and really the market. How hot is the market? I believe was it Sula that mentioned right now the market is so hot. People are not asking for any repairs. They're not asking for anything. They're taking a house in conditions as long as it passes appraisal, as long as it passes that. So it really just depends. Absolutely always talk to your agent to see where the potential or what the major fixes are. Kitchens, bathrooms are always pretty. Big things, roof, AC, things that are functional. There's always those as well.
Yeah, and I think Sula can fill that in a little bit. We do have to take a small commercial break because that's how we get paid around here. Love you guys, and I know you guys are agents, and we love to talk. That's kind of the bane of our existence, right? So we're going to take a small commercial break. Go ahead and take a drink of water, whatever you need to. Stick around, watch the show, and we'll be right back.
Honey.
As an entrepreneur, I am using my resources that I have available to me through my corporation. But I'm doing that so that I can establish my own personal goals and help other people accomplish theirs. I really believe in unity and that we really are all one. And I think it's important for all of us to bridge that gap. Unless you get out of your comfort zone, if you don't experience those outside resources, you never really get to grow and know that we are all really just one. Great American Title is the only company that actually has a community outreach program. Because I am such a proponent of community nonprofit organizations, that's what pushed me off the fence and made me choose this company. I always incorporated networking into my scope of business so that I could meet other like-minded professionals that I could do business with. My name is Maria Brandenburg, and this is our CEO Network. Robert, get to this!
Thank you, Miss Maria Brandenburg, for being our sponsor for today's show. If you like what you're seeing, keep giving those hearts and wow emojis because we just love you guys. If you have any comments or questions, keep typing those in. We're going to get to them as we go. Back to you, Miss Annabella Gomez, taking over the show.
Sula, you wanted to say that, and just before we went to commercial break, we talked about what you feel is the most important for a home buyer who's planning on making upgrades to their home in order to sell, to gain the most return back from those renovations. Do you think that they should consult a realtor first, or go ahead and do with those upgrades?
No, I do think they need to consult the realtor first. We are looking at homes every day, and we are looking at our clients every day, and we know what people are looking for. So I wouldn't like you to go and spend a lot of money in something that people don't even care about. Right. So it's important for people to call the realtor, and the realtor will walk through the house and give their professional advice. And see, maybe you are thinking about spending a lot of money you don't need to. Some things are very easy to fix, and some things will do with a little money will do wonders.
Awesome. Well, so you guys can see that we have a panel of well-experienced realtors here. I'm super impressed, you guys. Thank you so much for being with us today. So now we're just gonna hit the battle of the sexes.
Oh boy.
It is so based on this gender thing, we kind of wanted to make this a fun game for everyone. And then I guess maybe actually, let me just one more question. I want to ask this question of
You are the moderator.
Sam, I think. Sam, if somebody wanted to become a realtor, let's say that they're wanting to get into the market, to me, I'm just thinking, wow, for somebody to actually want to be a realtor in this game right now, as competitive as it is, I already know it's really, really competitive. What kind of personality would it take? What kind of gusto, grit? Can you kind of give some advice to the the grasshoppers out there that are wanting to learn?
So the first thing I would tell somebody that wants to become a realtor is recognize there are 57,000 realtors in Arizona, or I say 57,000 hungry realtors in Arizona. This is a very, very competitive business, and it's a hard job. It's a fantastic, well-rewarding career, but you have to work hard. So if you're thinking about, staying in your job as an accountant and getting your license, you're really not going to be very successful. You've got to be in it full time, and I would recommend that you are somebody that's very positive, somebody that is detail-oriented. You have to be technologically adept. You don't have to be super savvy necessarily. You have to be someone that's willing to try new things and be flexible. And you need, once you get that license, you need a mentor. That's extraordinarily important as well. So have a good work ethic, a very positive attitude, and be realistic about what your goals are and how you can achieve them.
So is this market, would you say right now, making your guys' job easy because the houses are just flying off or is it hard? What is your opinion on that? Robert, what is your opinion on that?
I can go both ways. It's easy and hard. It's easy on a listing side. The challenge with the listing side is selecting the appropriate buyer. Some agents, unfortunately, are just doing kind of like shotgun offers. They're just throwing it out there just to see if they get anything back, without really thinking about the offer or their client or the home necessarily. So I received an offer just yesterday on a listing that I had, and she didn't read the pre-qual, and I kind of asked her about that. They asked for seller concessions on the pre-qual, but not on the contract. So you have to kind of be looking out for your client on both sides. For the buyer, again, it's easy and hard. It's a challenge to find a purchase right now. Anything like Sula said, anything under 400,000 is a definite challenge. I just recently sold a townhouse in Scottsdale for $575, but it was really negotiable. That price point was just really in the buyer's favor. Anything below 400 is not in the buyer's favor, and you have to be creative when it comes to making offers. So it's easy.
Yeah. I've always kind of just, pictured myself in certain professions when I was kind of first starting out, and I was super young and not knowing what direction I would go to. Real estate was never my thing. As a matter of fact, it's definitely my thing. I don't care. Even renovating this entire house was like a total pain in the neck. I hated every of it. But I just kind of pictured myself as a female. And one thing that I kind of have to share with, my fiance at times is things that men don't think about in terms of what women have to think about. Kind of like when you're in a parking garage, probably not a good idea as a man to follow very closely behind a woman who's walking by herself in the parking garage, right? And so what kind of things as men, and I'm going to ask Sam this next question, is what kind of things as men have you been concerned with in terms of your safety, I guess, when you're doing your job? Is there anything? Because I would imagine for a woman to the house to people that she doesn't really know, or to be open house and be there by herself. I've seen some newspaper articles, and so I'm just kind of curious as to, is that something that you guys have to be concerned with, like women would have to be?
I think, first of all, you said you thought of yourself as a woman, and I want you to know I think of yourself as a woman as well.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's any question about that, but you can just put that, just put that, right out of your mind. Everybody has to be cognizant of their safety, and actually September is Realtor Safety Month, which was initially designed for women. In fact, Nancy and I had a self-defense class for women actually at a listing of mine. So everybody needs to be everybody has to be concerned about his safety. Even as a man, if you're showing property, this is a day and age where everybody can be packing heat, right? So we don't really know. Yeah. So it's important that as we show property, men and women, that you're just aware of your surroundings, and if you don't feel comfortable, don't go in the house. Always I try not to turn my back on people, which isn't polite anyways, but it's just always good. Think of when you enter a house, think of a way that you would have to get out quickly. And I think that applies to both men and women, because you really don't know. I'm not necessarily thinking some 4'11" woman is going to assault me, but it's certainly possible. I'm not very tall myself, and I bleed. So,
Yeah.
but I really haven't been
boy.
afraid. Yeah, I really haven't been afraid. Been very lucky.
Well, I'm glad for that, honestly. So Nancy, what would you say? Have you been in a situation where it's been a little dangerous, a little scary?
So, no, but like you said, we get calls from strangers. Being women, you have to be a little bit more cautious. Not saying men are not at the same risk, but obviously as a woman, you're always got to be a little bit more cautious. Listen to your inner, voice that says, hey, this is not okay.
Right.
This person's not sending me what they're sending or what they should be sending. I have this thing that whenever I show somebody that I don't know, I either bring a buddy to sit in the car and then just wait for me, or I go ahead and have somebody on the phone and then just have the phone on. You never know. Always try to be, aware of your surroundings. Back in the day where you had a bunch of vacant homes and all of that, there was a lot of people who were, homeless people who were breaking into the house. So I did run into that aspect of it. Luckily, I've been very fortunate doing this for 8 years, never had an issue, and let's keep it that way.
Yes.
Yes,
but
definitely. It is very much be aware of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. Listen to yourself. If it doesn't sound good or if you don't get a good vibe, don't do it. The money is not worth your life.
Right. No, for sure. Sula, have you ever been concerned, or what are your strategies to keep yourself safe?
My business is mostly referral only. So when I know that my clients are people that I know. However, when I list a house and somebody calls me out of the blue and said, hey, I would like you to show me the home, I make sure they are pre-qualified first. And if they are, I still call my friends and say, okay, I'm going to be at 5:15 in this house. It should take me 15 minutes. If I don't call you back in 15 minutes, you know where I am. And so please call me or
I'm
try
looking
to find
for
me.
Hunt me down. Yeah.
Exactly. I did have one time I opened a house and a homeless person was in the house. Wow. I just run and call the police right away. But yeah, I'm always aware of everything. Even when I'm with my friends, I'm aware. With my clients, I'm aware of their safety as well. So if a house is vacant, I knock, I check, and then I let them go in. And we always look for ways to get out, just in case.
Super, super smart. Well, you guys are so awesome. So we're going to play this Battle of the Sexes game. It's actually called Over and Under, and it's going to be men versus women. So Sula and Nancy are going to be on the same team, and Robert and Sam are going to be on the same team.
Go Sula, let's do this.
So the person or the team that guesses the closest number to the actual number is who actually will win the round, and then they'll be actually asked the second question and third, and then so on until we run out of time.
I didn't know there was math on the show.
I know. I'm just gonna do my sticks and just cross them out as you guys get these right.
Are we getting points for this?
Yes. You get 1 point for the right answer.
Oh boy.
1 point for the right answer. Okay, so here goes. U.S. Weekly reports Christine Quinn from Netflix's Selling Sunset has earned blank in sales commission since Oppenheimer. Fun fact about her, her Instagram posts earn a reported $3,184 per post. Teams must choose the over and under as representing the current answer. So I'll give you guys a hint. It's in the millions. What does Christine Quinn from Netflix's Selling Sunset earn? I'm assuming as a sales commission. So she's on TV, she's on Netflix, she's doing this Selling Sunset. How much do you think that she earns?
I'm
Do you
gonna
guys want to-
I'm gonna stay out of this one because I already know the
You
answer.
kinda
That was my example answer.
Yeah. It's in the millions.
I'm gonna go with 2 million. I have
2
no clue.
million.
I haven't heard of her or the show. I have heard of Netflix. So I'm gonna go with 2 million.
Robert, you
Okay.
have too much time in your hands if you're watching Netflix, sir.
I know.
I got it from Violet. It wasn't me. I got all the cliff notes from Violet on the show.
Sure. Is that what it is?
Sula, what do you think? What do you think she earns on an annual basis for sales? It's in the millions.
It's in the millions.
I think commissions. It's
Oh my
commission.
gosh.
It's a commission question.
She probably makes what I want to make.
Good answer. Yes, I would imagine so because I know what the answer is. Do you want to give a guess?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Yeah. 2 million?
I already
So that was
guessed.
Sam's guess. What is your guess?
It's like the Price is Right. You could
3.
say,
Then I say 3.
So you say 3. Nancy, what do you say?
I'm gonna say 5, 5.5.
Okay. And Robert, you're gonna stay out of this one, right?
I'm abstaining.
Well, Sam is the winner because she earns $1,082,400. And actually you win 2 points. Good job,
Yeah.
Sam.
All right.
Woo!
Team
Where's
men.
our applause?
Yeah.
Good job, Sam. All right.
Okay. No real
So
question.
here are some fun facts. Actually, no, hold on. Here's another question. As of the second quarter of 2020, 50% of Americans own their home. Is that true or false, Roberto?
Own their home, you said?
Our
Yes,
homeowner.
50% of Americans own their home as of the second quarter of 2020.
I'll say
Is
false.
that,
False.
you're going to say false? Would you say there's more Americans that own or less, Robert?
I would say more foreigners. No, I would say no, but yes to Americans.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Americans own more than 50% or less than 50%?
Americans own less than 50%.
Less than 50%. Sam, what do you say about that?
Well, in Arizona, that's definitely true. Nationally, I think it's probably true as well.
Okay. Sula, what do you think?
Less. I think is less.
Less. Nancy,
I
what
would
do
agree.
you think it's less? The
Yeah,
answer
we're all
is
the same boat.
The smart answer is to listen to the broker.
So the answer is 67.9% of Americans own their home as
So
of
it's
the
more?
second quarter of 2020. Yeah.
Oh, we all
like
lost.
pool cleaner or homeowners?
You know, I think that's a question that we're gonna have to ask Violet because these are her stats.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
so,
we're
but-
talking free and clear, but if they're, okay.
Yeah. So over or under 50%, and that would be over. It's 67.9. Okay. Okay. So here's another one.
So with men are ahead by 2 points.
That's
So
right.
here's the over and under. I think I'm learning how to play this game a little bit better. You have to tell me whether the real answer is above the percentage or underneath the percentage. Staged homes sell 40% faster than non-staged homes. Is it above 4% or below 40%? Robert.
I'm going for above.
Above 40%, Roberto. Okay. Sula, what would you say? Stage homes sell 40% faster than non-stage homes. Is it less or more than 40%?
It cannot be in. It cannot be.
It's above or below.
Sure, this is America.
above or below.
I'm an out-of-box thinker too, so yeah, if you want it to be 40%,
I will
40%,
say above.
more than that. So you think a stage home
Yeah.
would sell faster? Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
See, that would be my opinion too. What about you, Sam? What do you think? Is it above 40% or
Above.
less?
I think it's about
And you, Nancy?
100% above, I think.
100%.
100%.
Well, if you think about it, when
We
you go to
definite
new builds,
agreement, it's more than
everything's fully
40%.
staged. They do it for a reason.
Are you saying your answer's 100%?
My answer is 100%.
Oh.
Girl power.
We're gonna get another.
So According to the violet purple statistics, the answer is 25%.
It's below.
Oh, we all got it wrong?
Below.
Okay,
So only
we're-
25% of staged homes actually sell
Fast.
faster.
So the strategy is working. We're still 2 points ahead, Robert.
That's right. Men are ahead. Men are very
Yes.
detailed.
Yes, yes. All right, here's the next one. In 2019, 60% of real estate agents were female. Is it more than that or less than that?
What was it? What is it
60%.
again?
In 2019, in 2019, 60% of real estate agents were female. Above or below, Robert?
Below.
Below. What about you, Sula? What would you say?
Below.
Okay, Sam?
Below.
Okay. Nancy?
Below.
The correct answer is 63%.
We're,
Oh,
we're still winning, Robert.
still ahead by 2 points.
How did you not know this?
I thought it was kind of equal. It was by little
Yeah,
bit
it's like in the
more
middle,
women.
right? And I would feel
Yeah, I
too,
thought it was
because
right in the middle.
I know for sure interpreters are a female dominated industry for sure. More linguists are female than they are male. And I would even say 75% of us are female. Okay. So
It's because we were more attention to detail.
Detail oriented, exactly.
okay, so we have one more question, then we're going to break to commercial. Arizona has 12 billionaires living in the state as of 2020. Is it more or less?
12 billion.
12 billionaires. Is it more or less that live in the state?
Is that all in PV? What's we have a zip
12
code
or-
in that one? I would say
How many billionaires live in this state?
I would say more.
More than 12?
I'm taking a chance on more.
All right, more than 12. Sula.
We're losing, right? I guess I would say less.
Sula says less. Okay. Sam, what do you got?
Less.
Less. Oh. Nancy, what do you got?
Don't screw it up.
I would go with more.
Nancy
This is
said
Oh, we're
more.
even each other out.
Perfect.
Exactly. You guys are like, you guys have to agree.
There's no way.
How are you guys?
majority
You guys
now.
are like,
We can't lose the winning cycle now because we're.
okay.
Wow.
Well, this is the last question, I think. Anyway, so there are 9. So it was less. Sula and Samuel.
Bam.
Good job. Very
So-
nice.
So we're still ahead by 2, right?
We're still ahead by 2
You are
points.
still ahead by 2.
Oh,
You guys
gosh.
canceled each other.
Oh
So do we
boy.
go commercial break now? Is that what we do?
Yes.
Or we
So
have a question? All right.
just hang in there, guys. We're going to be taking another small commercial break,
Yep.
and because we love our sponsors and they love us too. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
These questions are harder than I thought.
We are a community.
We are a community.
We are a community,
A community of entrepreneurs and owners.
a community of entrepreneurs and owners.
A community of entrepreneurs and owners.
We face many challenges.
But we lead with our hearts.
And we push forward
Push forward.
We
push
forward.
to overcome any obstacle
And we have found a place
that we can share ideas to support one another.
And help each other.
When it matters most.
Come join us.
Join us.
Come join us because
This is our
This is our CEO network.
I can't do it. I can't smile at the end.
I actually had to share that video because I love that one, and
I can't
I-
believe you shared that video.
I love our moderators. So not that I'm trying to win over more points, but that's what it was. So I want to thank everybody that day, especially Dan at Workuity. Workuity is a shared office space. We have a collaborative relationship with Dan over there at Workuity. So if you're looking for shared office space, give us a holler, give us a call, pigeon message us, whatever you need to, and we'll get you set up with a discount for shared office space. So if you're still watching us, give us some loves because we love the loves. Give us a little wow emojis. Keep writing those comments and questions because we're at the final segment of our show today, which is an open Q&A. I'll leave it to Miss Annabella at this point.
Well, I do want to ask one question of you guys. I asked for some advice kind of in the beginning of our show, and I'm just going to leave off with that, and then we're going to go to our audience and get some questions if they posted any in the comment section. But and so Robert and I, you know, in a year ago, has it been now? I mean, we've had a working relationship for the last almost, I think, 4 years, 3.5 years for sure. I don't know exactly how long, but we worked together on setting up our CEO network. And so networking is definitely Robert's thing. It's definitely my thing. It's any entrepreneur's thing. You realtors know very well what networking is all about. And so in that networking, I've built pretty strong relationships with a lot of people, including realtors. And I adore my realtor friends. And so what is your guys' advice on how to handle? Okay, so I'm a business person. I love business, and I'm also the type of personality that can be very direct. Just because I don't like the guessing game in terms of communication. I'm a professional communicator. I interpret language. And so I think that for somebody to be able to deal with my type of personality, which I don't know if you guys have done the DISC personality profile. If you've been with our network, then you've definitely done the DISC personality. So I am a DI, which I believe is what is it, Robert? A
dominant influencer.
A dominant influencer. And so I just say what I need, and there's no frill in between. And sometimes I even forget to say good morning, and I'm working on that. Gabby is helping me with that.
Me too. That's why we get along.
Exactly. We need Gabby. Hi, Gabby, if you see us, I love you. So anyways, what do you suggest about me choosing my realtor friends? And then what is the right thing to say to the person that doesn't get selected? Like, how do you do that? Or do you just change your address, pick somebody you don't know because you don't even want to include your friends? You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I mean, how do you handle that? You're first.
Well, I'll chime in real quick. The way okay. I've handled it in the past is like, you know, I am here to help you in whichever capacity I am. And so if that's meant to be in real estate, that is, you know, it could be the network stuff, it could be video. I'm just here to help. And so if you feel confident with what I'm doing and who I am as a person, then that's fine. If you find somebody else too, you kind of, again, in this business, you have to have a tough skin, you know, and if your heart is in the right place, it doesn't matter who you choose because those are your friends at the end of the day. And yeah. It's hard to choose between friends. You know, it's hard to decide who you're going to spend Friday night with sometimes. Sure. So you can't really hold it against anybody at the end of the day. I don't know if you guys have anything else.
Great attitude to have. Thank you, Robert. This is why you're one of my closest friends. Okay, Nancy, you're up.
So I do believe that for every person, they know at least 5 real estate agents. It's a fact. It sucks, but it's there. So that being said, I think referrals is always a great thing. Having, you know, friends and stuff refer you out is a big part of our business. You know, working with people who work with you in the past.
So one gender thing that I was actually talking to my fiance about is like, well, it's actually interesting because I myself have a tendency to work better with men, and I don't know why that is. I think there's a lot of emotion that gets taken out of
Maybe it's just Sam.
And I think that's important to me. We just talk business and it just gets to business, and I just want to know what I want to know, and their feelings don't get hurt if I don't get it in the nicest way possible because I don't want to have to worry about that stuff. So I'm a definitely unique personality in that regard, but I kind of had also this preconceived notion that men are better at negotiating than women. And he brought that out to me, and he brought that to my attention, and I thought, oh, is that right?
Are you genderist?
Right? Like, I know that that's wrong because I myself am a business person, and so I negotiate all day, all the time. And I can tell you that, well, Craig's a pretty good negotiator too. I mean, he's pretty top notch. So I don't know what your guys' opinion is on that. You know your personality best. And so are you always going to be the one that's going to go and work really, really hard for your client without your client even asking for it? Like, if you know that the house is overpriced by, let's say, $10,000, are you automatically going to go for that $10,000? Or are you going to wait for your client to say something about that?
As far as
negotiating, like how aggressive, and I guess I'm asking a twofold question, is a man better at negotiating than a woman?
I don't think that it has to do with men or women. I think in this particular thing, it has more to do with the market, what the market is telling us. There are times where it's a buyer's market and we're able to negotiate better for that particular person or that particular client. And then there's times where it's seller's market and we don't have a lot of room. Obviously, as an agent, I always try to do my best for my client, whether it comes to negotiating repairs, everything possible to get them in the best, possibility as far as it goes. But that being said, I think it has more to do with advising them on where the market is, how firm of an offer we need to submit, how, where we need to be at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll chime in too. I think it doesn't really matter as far as gender goes. I think it matters as far as confidence, how experienced you are, how you know how to manage a contract, how you know how to just talk to people. I think at the end of the day, it's just about being confident within yourself. And I think that shows. It doesn't matter who you're negotiating with. I mean, there's been a lot of times I feel intimidated just because of the emotion that the other agent, sometimes they get really mad, during these things, and they forget like they're representing somebody.
We don't see as a client, we don't really see that kind of stuff. You guys deal with this in the back end and we don't really get to see that stuff. So what would you say, Sam, is a good number of years of experience for a realtor? Where they're solid, they're confident, like they're talking, like Robert's talking about, that kind of thing.
When you first graduate real estate school, the only thing you know how to do is pass a test. So I think really it takes 2 or 3 years generally before you really have your feet on the ground. And the most important thing when you're representing your client is to be honest. That's the most important thing. You certainly have to be confident. That's extremely important. This is really a business that doesn't really favor men or women. You have to be confident. You have to be knowledgeable. If you're honest with your client, you're going to be successful. I'm very aggressive in representing my client, but I'm honest. So if we're going to overprice the home, they're going to know I think it's overpriced. Does that mean I'm going to give their money away when I'm negotiating, I'm representing them? Of course not. But if another realtor says, hey, Sam, we think this house is overpriced, I don't necessarily defend the price, but I'm not going to tell them that, you just always want to represent your client's best interest. And if you're honest with your client, you're just not going to have that kind of an issue. And when you mentioned before, you're like, what happens if it's $10,000 overpriced? Do I go for it? You bet I do. I go for every dollar. It's a zero-sum game. Now, once we get into the other parts, in the inspections and things, there's a different kind of give and take. But to represent your client well, you have to be honest with them. That's the number one thing to do.
I think that's a fantastic advice. That's actually what I do too in my business. I almost feel like being the most transparent, there are no ugly surprises. Something that you kind of see coming down the road eventually, you say, oh, okay, well, yeah, here it is. This is what I kind of expect to see happen. And they're not disappointed because you are the expert. You know what the market is. You know what to anticipate. And if you've been in business for long enough, then you know exactly what to do. Yeah, that's my policy. Transparency. What about you, Sula?
I believe that information is power. The most informed you are, and the most amount of tools you can give to your clients is the better. So we decide together. And before I go to a listing or before I go to show a home, I already know what the price is of that home, what we should get. I mean, what we should be offering. And I give my clients all the information so they make the decision with me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much again for being with us today. It looks like we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, did you have one more question, or was that?
Do I have one more question?
One that you're dying of?
Well, does our audience have any questions? Did they type anything up there?
So I had my friend, she's starting real estate school, and she asked me to ask the panel, can you can you predict when a couple is about to get a divorce, even when they're starting house shopping?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's some cheese right there.
So I will say,
Sometimes you can tell.
I had some friends who purchased, and we sold our house, purchased a brand new build, and about 3-4 months later, they end up having a divorce. I think the ex-husband blames me because of the situation, because he didn't want to move, she wanted to move, but ultimately, it's not our decision. But buying a house is one of the most stressful things that people go through. So if there's already tension, obviously it's going to increase.
And Robert, you specialize in divorce.
Yes. So I had a number of years in family court, and I just kind of moved that over to the real estate part. And yeah, people, I think at the end of the day, and this is aside from real estate, it's just they really don't know themselves, and they kind of project what they want from somebody. They project what they want internally on somebody else, and they set up expectations for that person to, whisk them off their feet and, take them to fantasy land, which, the first 3 months of meeting anybody is always fantasy land. I mean, it's always great. You're going out to
For
dinner.
Sure.
You're looking your hottest,
Yeah, well, they even say that you get the endorphins or whatever chemicals actually automatically happen where you fall in love. And so you may be in love, but it's a chemical imbalance actually. And so you may not be able to help it. But when that wears off, when the drug wears off, then you're just, I don't know. Anyway, so what do you think about that, Sula? Are you have you seen situations where a couple kind of fights in the beginning? You're just kind of like, whoa, these guys aren't going to make it.
When they get to that situation, I always say, happy wife, happy life. So and make them laugh a little bit, and so it stays down. However,
yeah, that's hilarious.
Most of my clients, if the wife says she likes the house, the husband agrees. I don't know why, but they do.
Well,
they want to live. That's why.
They want to live another day.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Way, the women win. Woo!
That's it. So with that said, Annabelle will be finding out because she just recently got engaged. Congratulations. Yeah. So as we wrap up, I'm going to be doing one more plug here for our CEO network. So if you want to market your business here at our CEO network, we create your marketing videos, offer social media management support, and highlight you at our events such as today's call. Instant messages here at Facebook at rconetwork.com for details about becoming a sponsor and other marketing opportunities. So I do want to reach out and say thank you to everybody for joining in. Last plugs for everybody here. I want to highlight one person at a time. So Ms. Sula Meyer, you can contact her at 602-465-7644 or at sula@sulameyer.com. When it comes down to real estate, again, exemplifying what Annabella was talking about in the last question, we're non-compete. You're going to connect with who you're going to connect with. The people you work with are going to make sense. Your friends are your friends. You're going to do what you need to. So when it comes to this network, just because I'm an agent doesn't necessarily mean that the buck stops there. I shared a deal with Nancy earlier last week, and it was to support one another. It didn't necessarily work out. I wish it would have. Again, it's non-compete. So if you want to contact Ms. Sula, her information is there. I also have this lovely gentleman here. Let me post his. You can also contact Sam if you did connect with him. Sam Miller, you can contact him at 602-570-8656 for that expertise broker information that he has, sam.milleraz@gmail.com. And then we have another person here. Hold on. So many people. This next person had the most fluffiest contact information. Contact Nancy Avila over here at HomeSmart at azdesertdreamhomes.com, azdesertdreamhomes.com, 602-799-5334, or at nancy@azdesertdreamhomes.com. last but not least, we have Miss Annabella. She is, again, in the interpretation business. If you need anything regarding your interpretation needs, sign language, she also does Spanish primarily because we're in Arizona. I mean, what else? What other language would you speak? But she does a number of other languages, Swahili, Japanese. I mean, no, everything. So contact Annabella here at 877-699-8377. Or you can also email her at info@allyinterpreting.com or go to allyinterpreting.com. You can reach her and contact her. And of course, there's me at RCO Network. Any last words? We are over our time. Anything anybody want to share last minute? You are.
No, this was a blast. Thanks so much, guys, for coming on and having me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. This
All
has
right,
been
good.
so much fun.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
Take care.
Thanks,
Always
everybody.
open.